Wouldn't it be great if you could put something on the piano stand and be able to control it from far away? You could use it for flashcards, for showing sheet music, for playing games with your students, all while staying socially distant or being able to sit at a separate table, such as your teaching desk, your writing desk, while your student is sitting at the piano and looking close up at what you want them to look at. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you one way that you could do that using an iPad and a Mac. It's called Sidecar, and I'll walk you step by step through how to set it up. Now, I've actually had a second screen in my studio for quite a while now, about 2 years ish. And that is a TV. It's an old TV. I got it off Done Deal, which is like a secondhand buy sell type website here in Ireland. And it was about €10, €15, something like that, because it's secondhand, and the only part of it that works is the HDMI port, which is why it was pretty much useless and it was going for super cheap. But that was perfect for me. The reason I love that it's actually TV, not a computer monitor, is that it came with a remote. So I sit it beside my student, beside the piano. It's actually off screen right there, right now. And my student can see it, but I can turn it off from far away, which has been really, really handy. Now, it's a little bit misbehaving at the moment. Like I said, it was €15, it was secondhand, and it was already slightly glitchy. So it's something I picked up and worked for a time, and it still kind of works, but I'm starting to feel like it might fade away. So I was thinking about this, and I suddenly had a light bulb moment about another way I could do this. I can't believe I didn't think about it before. It's called Sidecar, and it's something I've actually experimented with before. The reason I let it fall out of my head as a possibility is because I used to teach in my office, which is in the garden. And not to give you too much information on this, but it is too far away from my Wi Fi. And so I actually have my Mac share the internet, right? So any devices I use out there are actually using my Mac as the internet connection port, as it were, which means that you can't use Sidecar. So once I discovered that, I stopped thinking about it altogether. Now that I'm teaching inside my house instead of in my garden, I actually can use it. So the thought occurred to me again, and I wanted to share it with you in case it might be useful for you. So as I said, since I've been using it about 2 years, since I needed to be more socially distant from my students where I'm sitting, not sitting as close and holding up flashcards for them and things like that. But it also has come in really handy, and I think I'm going to keep it even when I'm sitting closer because I can much more easily flip through flashcards on a screen, zoom in on things, do digital games, that kind of thing. So, if you don't have a second screen, or you just want a different way and want to be able to put the item actually on the stand, I think this is a great option. Now, you do need a slightly more recent device to do it. So, you can look up the full system requirements, and I'll leave the link from Apple below where you can check out all the details of how to use Sidecar and what you can use it on. But you need something recent-ish. Basically, you need a Mac, for most of them, that's newer than 2018, right? 2018 or newer. Some of the 2016 models also work. You can look at the details there. And then for the iPad, my iPad is actually the oldest that you can use this on. It's a 6th generation, which is the oldest one that this works on. But it does work, so I'm in luck. If you are too, this is how you set it up. Now, you need to be signed into the same Apple ID on both devices. You also may need to update the operating system, especially on the iPad. That's what I've found whenever it's not connecting. There's normally an update on my iPad. That's what I need to do, and then it'll work again. You need to be definitely signed into the same Apple ID. If that it's not working, check that you've updated the system, and then try again. What you do on a newish Mac, this one is quite new, but on most new Macs, you go into this top menu section and there's these little, it looks like two sliders to me. So there are these two oblong sort of shapes. And then underneath that, you go to display. There's a little arrow here. If I click on that, you'll see connect to. And if you're signed into the same Apple ID, and you have made sure that you're allowing sharing and you have Bluetooth on and that kind of stuff, then your iPad should show up here. Again, the Apple link is below if you need to troubleshoot. That's the best place to look. But hopefully it'll just show up there and it'll be nice and simple. Mine is called Theodora, my iPad. So I just click on that and then it'll connect to my iPad. Now you see I have two options here. I can use it as a separate display or built-in Retina display. Sorry, mirror the built-in Retina display. I would recommend if you're new to using a second screen, honestly, I would just do the mirroring. I think you're going to find that simpler. Whenever I'm getting confused, I'm like, oh, I'll just mirror it. That's like a good, simple way to do it. I prefer using it as a second display, but it does require maybe a little bit more thinking. I'll show you both ways. So let's try the mirror. And you'll see my screen size has kind of changed. My resolution has changed to match the iPad. And now the iPad is showing this. And it's got sidecar options on the side of the iPad screen. Most of the time, I won't even use those. So they're there if you want to look at them. But I'm using this for a student to look at the iPad, and I don't want them to actually change anything or touch anything. So I would just show it like this. If I was showing these interval flashcards, for example, I would just go full screen. This is in Mac's Preview app, and then just flip through them like this. And they're also flipping on the iPad. I would put the iPad, of course, up on the music stand so that it's flipping through for my student. Now, let's go out of full screen mode there. And then I'll go back up here and go to the display again and change it to use as a separate display. So this means that my Mac is going to go back to its regular resolution using the full screen. And now I can drag apps that I want on the iPad onto the iPad screen. Here's the thing to note here. If you go into your system preferences on your Mac, which is under the Apple logo, and then you go to system preferences, you'll see displays. If you click on displays and arrangement, you're going to see these side-by-side screens. So this one with the white border, that is supposed to be my Mac screen. And then this is the iPad. And I can actually move that around. So the main trick to using it as a secondary display is to make sure it's in the right spot. If your Mac is over there and then your iPad is over there, you'd want it to look like this. If you sit the other way around than that, swap it. So drag this box over here, right? Because when you then move apps onto that second display, you're dragging them off your screen and onto this screen. So I'm going to drag this way because that's the way I have it set up. And when I get over here, it's going to go onto the iPad like that. And then I can control it on the iPad using my mouse. So my mouse also goes back and forth between the two screens. And I can make this full screen here. And I can still control it with my keyboard on my Mac. So that's how it works. This is a great setup if you want to have the iPad on the piano stand and be further away and control it somehow. There's two different ways you can do it there. As I said, troubleshooting tips from Apple at the link below. And if you have any questions that you think I can help with, I'd be delighted to help you. Just leave me a comment.